Indie Filmmaking with Aaron Carlson, a CCC Studios production. Let's fucking go.
Yes, let's go. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Indie Filmmaking Live. Welcome to 2026. Come on. It's a brand new year, guys. January 5th, and we're on our way. Aren't we on our way? What is happening, Mackie? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. I'm going to make this show a little more interactive today, just a little bit. I want to kind of bring you guys into the conversation a little bit. And if you're a filmmaker, I'd love to hear your comments, see your workflow, that kind of thing. What's up, man? Thank you for joining again. Okay. There's a lot of stuff you got to do as an indie filmmaker, right? A lot of stuff. And we all know this, especially if you're in the industry. You do a lot of things all the time, getting down. Here's what I'm talking about today. I want to go over like projects, pacing, production, your workflow, that kind of thing. Before the end of the year, I took some time off and I was just kind of zenning out on like how to keep things rolling in 2026. And even though I took a break, I was still kind of functioning, all of it in my head. It felt good to be lazy, don't get me wrong. But I was still working on stuff in here. Always in here. It's always going, all the time. And I started to realize, we've got a lot of things we want to accomplish, a lot to do. And how am I going to organize all this throughout the year? In our team at CCC Studios, I do this for a living, full time. Samantha does it for a living, full time. And the rest of our team, Steve and Kelvin, those guys, they have full time jobs, and then they're jumping in on their spare time to help us out and kick ass. So, primarily it's a lot of me and Sam doing a lot of the stuff, the day-to-day work that needs to be done. And then those guys come in and get our back and help us complete stuff. That's how we work as a team at this moment, because, we all can't just do this and make enough money to sustain the entire company. However, we want to do a lot, and we've got a lot of projects to do. So how do we get that accomplished? That's the key. How do you balance all this work and all the things necessary to make the movies that you want to make for yourself and for your fans and your audience and your colleagues, and also be able to maybe work on other people's things, whether it's paid or free, in order to keep networking with the teams of people out there and keep a good standing in the community that you're in. That's something that's important to me, because not every time when you go out there and you're making a movie for yourself are you going to have the budget that you might need to pay everybody for their time. And sometimes it's good to use that barter system. And what I mean by that is like, hey, you guys acted for me for free on Jason Voorhees Nightmares. But if you got something you need from me down the road, whether you've got a short film or you need somebody to come film for you, you need some editing done, you need an actor's reel, I'm not going to charge you. I owe you. So come to me, I got you. And that's kind of how I've done it off and on throughout the years here, to keep functioning and still build a community around me that knows that I got their back because they had mine, and vice versa. I think that's key. So when you're thinking about projects, pacing, and production, I wanted to start out by just talking about projects and get you guys involved in this conversation a little bit. How many of you filmmakers out there have all these ideas that you want to start right now? You got a multiple? Do you just have one? Do you have a bunch of short films you want to make this year in 2026? Do you have a feature you want to make? Do you have two? Do you have a feature and a couple shorts? Are you a filmmaker, or are you an editor, or are you a gaffer? I mean, what do you do? How many projects do you want to get? How much work do you want to fill this year with? I think it's an easy thing to figure out if you just sit back and just visualize it, right? You got to kind of see what you're capable of, and your gut will tell you what you can and you won't be able to do. There's this instinct we have, and sometimes I think a lot of us in our day-to-day lives and as filmmakers, we second guess our gut, right? I don't think you should do that. I think it's important for you to push yourself, yes, but also know your limit. because the amount of work that you have to be able to do still has to meet a standard, right? So when I'm sitting down on my day-to-day work, and I've got multiple projects right now here at CCC, we're working on, yeah, you love that shirt, Kathy? What's up, Kathy McKay? Oh, yeah. Will in the Way, one of the best documentaries out there. I'm telling you, great story with Kathy. Amazing family she's got out there. Amazing history and story at the K Diamond K Ranch. If you guys have not seen A Will in the Way, check it out on Amazon Prime, Tubi TV. It's on our YouTube channel. You can check it out. It's a beautiful documentary that Samantha Hannick directed, and we had a blast making it. It's just, it's one of the films where I can actually look back and go, I don't think I've ever been more proud of something we made, and that's for real. It's beautiful, beautiful, and Kathy's beautiful. Her family's beautiful. It's a great story. You guys need to check it out. Okay, let me get back to the day-to-day real quick. So I try to balance everything we're doing, and I usually go with my gut. I don't have like a calendar. I got people have calendars and they have shit written down on them. I don't do that. I literally in my head kind of foresee what I want to do, and I don't know if anybody else works that way. I know I do, and it works for me. I don't really pre-plan anything. I usually go with my gut that day, right? Unless there's something that I know I'm on a timeline on. So let's say, for example, we've got 3 films we're working on this year, for sure, that I know we're going to be working on. We've got actually 4, possibly. So we've got Nightmares we're finishing up. We've got Hit It, the short film. We've got The Stranger, that's in pre-production. And We're Not in Jersey Anymore, which is in pre-production as well. 4 films. 2 of them are features. One's a short, and the other one's a feature too, the fan film that's in post-production. What I do on a day-to-day basis, and I'll go into like the pacing of my day and my workflow, is, it's really hard to explain, but it's basically, I just jump in on something I'm feeling, right? And I usually do everything with feeling. I don't have a clean and specific way of doing things and a structure. If I have an open day and I know that anything I do pushes our company in the right direction, that's what I do first. What am I feeling? Do I feel like doing Nightmares today? Do I feel like working on Hit It, and get that ready for filming by the end of the month? Do I want to, jump into The Stranger and start, finishing up some of the writing I got to do? Or do I want to go in and start building the team today? Finding the producers we need, the investors we need, the people that are going to back this film, build a team and crew that we're going to need to help shoot some of this stuff and be able to have them ready for what's coming. In Jersey Anymore, we still got actors to find. We still have to cast that. Do I feel like doing that? So, it's whatever my gut's telling me to do that day. And then I just jump in and I start doing it. And it usually goes off of what excites me for that day. And it changes. Like, yesterday I was super into The Stranger. After this morning, I've been fired up about Nightmares again, and I start wanting to post about that. And and the day before, the other day, it was Nightmares again. And then I go in to Hit It, and I start talking to the cast and crew in that one, and I get jacked up. So I start jumping in to Hit It, make sure that script's ready to go, make sure I've got my my shot list ready. It's just kind of like winging it, and I've done this way the entire time I've been making movies. There is no other way for me. I'm not that structured. I don't have a structure. I go from my gut, my heart, and my feelings, and it goes right hand in hand with the production part of it. When you think about networking and you're thinking about pitching your ideas to others, or if you're writing something that day, or you need to get online and market stuff, I kind of tend to just let my feelings go. Like if I start thinking about The Stranger, what do I want to tell everybody about it today? What do I want to share and get the word out about our brand and what we're creating, and will that draw other people into our work? It all goes on feeling. So how do you guys do it? Like, I don't know. I'm curious about what others do as filmmakers on a day-to-day basis with their workflow. If you've got a deadline and you got to meet, like an editing deadline, or, if you're doing a score on something and that movie's going to be coming out, but you need this time to get it done so that you have time to master everything at the end. I mean, what do you do and how do you plan it? Do you go by your gut and feelings if you don't have deadlines, or do you specifically go by deadlines and the kind of, arc that you put on yourself as a creative? I don't know. I'm curious about what people think. And it's very important to me to, share how I do it, because I don't want anybody out there thinking, we're so organized. No, we're not. Not at all. Not at all. It's like Indiana Jones, we're making this shit up as we go. That's basically it. But it's fun that way. It keeps you on your toes, as your feet. It keeps you moving and rolling. And to me, that's the biggest piece when it comes to anything we do. I'm that way on set. I'm working with actors and stuff. I'm not stuck in anything. I legitimately love the collaboration that we all have, and the talents we all have, and the eyeballs we all have to see things kind of differently sometimes. And drawing them in with you as a creative can help you really push that narrative better and make a better film. I can tell you that right now. It happens all the time. So I'm never stuck. I go with my gut. I go with my feelings. I know that might be different than others, but maybe not. Maybe a lot of people do. And if you do that, do you do it enough? Do you allow yourself to have that freedom? Or do you think you're doing it wrong because you're not doing it like some other person's doing it? I don't think there's one wrong way, to be honest with you. I think whatever works and helps you get through your project and you get it done and you get it out there to the world, you did it. That's cool. Get it done. So to me, those are important pieces. And so is instinct. I think having a good instinct on what you should do in your daily workflow matters. One of the important pieces for me is that, you can almost smell it, especially on socials. When you get on your socials, you get an idea of what, if you're kind of vibing right now with everybody, or if you're not. Like right now, I'm not. But a couple weeks ago, I was, our posts were blowing up. We were getting sometimes hundreds of thousands of reaches out to everybody. And then all of a sudden, like Facebook and Instagram just kind of said, no, wait, that's enough for you guys. I was like, Jesus Christ, what do we do? But, it happens. And then it goes down to, normal range, 7,000 to 10,000 people you might reach. And that's still cool. I mean, you gotta keep pushing that every day. You can't quit. So no matter what kind of numbers you're receiving, sometimes it doesn't matter of how good your marketing material is. Sometimes it's about how much love you've given Facebook, let's say, in the last 3 days. If you haven't given it any love, it's not going to love you back. It's really, really selfish, right? It sucks. It's so one-sided. So you got to think of it that way. And sometimes if you don't post a lot, it will give you a lot of love because it wants to bring you back. And I've been thinking about that lately. It's like maybe I post too much and I'm not keeping up with my highest standard. Maybe I went to this level at one point and then I kind of chip out for a little while. And then Facebook's like, fuck you. I'm not going to show you everybody. And then I keep fighting to try to get back up there. And then I go down and I fight to get back up and I go down. That's kind of my journey on the socials with advertising and marketing. It's kind of a roller coaster. And that happens. I totally get it. But, someone like Samantha can jump on who doesn't post very often and her posts blow up. One post. And Facebook's just like molding her. Like, this is what you'll get if you post more. Think about that stuff when you're marketing, because that should be a part of your production. It should be a part of your pre-production, your normal production when you're out there shooting, and then your post-production work. You need to constantly be showing everybody you can what you're doing. That's the biggest gig that being an indie filmmaker is not having the advertising money you wish you had to hire others to do that work for you, and realizing that if you don't do it, no one else will. And all the work you've done won't be seen by a large amount of people. And we've learned that. We've had movies that have had hundreds of thousands of views, Horrorverse, 1 million views, right? Blackout, our audio series, on Spotify, of all places, that's really tough to get anybody to listen to something on, is genuinely kicking ass. It's almost got 30,000 listens, It's only been out a few months. It takes a lot of your energy and time to work on things like this in your workflow, in your projects, your pacing and production. But it also takes a lot of work mentally to know that you did that work, but it's not over. that's not done. You got to keep going way past something being finished in order for others to see it. And if you don't have that spike in you to go and kick ass after the fact, your project's not gonna get enough leverage with an audience. That's so difficult to swallow, because you kind of just want to make stuff, and then when you're done with that, you want to make something else. But you've got to kind of carry this other projects on your back to the finish line. And after a while, your legs start wearing out and you get tired because it's hard. It's doable, but it's hard. But the biggest thing you got to remember, though, is that you love these things and you want to share them. And the only way you can do that is by working it. And you have to do that on a day-to-day basis. And I do that on a day-to-day basis by following my instinct and my gut. I haven't chatted about a will and a way for a while. Maybe I should bring that up. Giant Pacific Octopus. Haven't talked about that in a long time. I need to talk about that one. Man, look at Outrider back there. It's been out forever. I should go back and make a post about that, and yeah, don't forget about Blackout or the Horrorverse, and whatever you're feeling. So what projects, whatever you're doing out there, guys, I don't care how old it was. If it was a few years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, anything that you can do to relive some moments of creativity that you've done in your career, you should think about resharing that stuff. I'm not ashamed of any of the work we've done, even if the movies aren't that good. I think it's cool to show the progress and the progression we've made from 2002 or 1 all the way till now making movies. It's incredible. I'd show you guys anything if I could. I really would, if I could find some of this shit. Because it's really cool to look back on it and go, wow, look how hard we tried with that. And it's so bad. And yet it's so good. Yeah. That's the fun part of making movies and working this. It's a very, very important thing that I think you all should do. What's up, Bob? Good to see you, man. Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year. Project spacing and production. It's important to find a flow. Your own workflow is all I'm trying to say. I know how I do mine. How do you do yours? Can you do multiple projects at once? Do you think you got it in you? You do. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. I'm way older than you. You know what I mean? It doesn't take as much as you think once you start getting in the groove. And maybe you do have that day job, right? And you're not able to just wake up in the morning, make some coffee, scratch your ass in your head, watch the news for an hour, jump on the computer by 9, and start plugging away at stuff. No, if you're not able to get up in the morning and jump on the computer, 5:30, 6 a.m. and start working on your shit early, because you got to get up and go to work, a real job. How do you balance that to make sure that your project's pacing and production is going to be beneficial to you? And this filmmaking thing isn't just a hobby. It's something that maybe you can, push yourself further. I just watched Insidious, so when I said further, that's what I was thinking about. Into the game, and possibly maybe get lucky enough, which luck has a lot to do with this stuff, get lucky enough to get an opportunity to, maybe earn some money doing what you do and what you love to do. That's kind of the trick, right? How do you get there if you've got that day job and do it? Well, you got to find time and you got to make the time happen. If that you work till 5, you come home, you spend some time with your family, you got a couple hours in the evening, one night you might want to just sit around and veg. Totally cool. But the next day, make sure you take that same time slot and you jump in and do some work on your stuff, whether it's your short film, podcast, feature film, whatever it is you do. Jump back in there and fucking get to work on it for a few hours. Do that every other day if you can. And if you can do it every day, do it fucking every day. It doesn't take a lot. I don't work all day, guys. I really don't. I don't. I get up in the morning like a normal guy. I make my fucking coffee. I watch the news for a little bit. I'm on this computer by 6:30 at the latest. And I'm working straight until 10, 11, 12. I might take a lunch break and get back on it for a little while, a couple more hours. I'll do some shit, finalize some stuff. 2 or 3 o'clock, I get my daughter from school. Come home, prep dinner. And if nothing's going on, I might jump on for another hour and work on some stuff here that I didn't finish, or something I want to start that's fun, and I'll do that. Then I'll make dinner. And then after dinner, depending on how I feel, I'll probably just lay around, play Xbox, or watch a movie. Or I might jump in here and finish writing for a little while before I go to bed. That's my day. But I put in the hours, and I'm doing it on a day-to-day basis. So, and you can do that too. If you got that day job, once you get home, make sure you have 2 or 3 hours for yourself to work on what you love to do. And that's okay to do it. Whether you're writing something, whether you're editing something, whether you're watching fucking videos to learn how to do something, it all matters. That's the project's pacing and production. Key is to always be doing something. And there's a lot you can do. Maybe build your brand now. Talk about what you're going to be doing. And if you do that, maybe that'll force you to get it done, right? Because you're putting it out there. No one likes to see somebody put stuff up and then years go by and they never fucking make it. I know a lot of filmmakers that do that. And it's not a good look. And if you think people don't notice, we do. We do. And we know who you are. We see you. So just make sure that if you put it out there, you're backing that shit up. That's important to do. That's important to do. Oh, who else we got in here? Jeffrey Messenger. What's up, man? You need more arms. Yeah, I do. But you know what? We got him. I'm just kind of stubborn. I like to do a lot of this stuff by myself because I don't want to put it on anybody else. It's my ideas, most of the time that we're trying to enforce and get done. And, this team has done enough work to try to build this stuff up. It's my job to drive us down the field. And we'll score. We'll get there. We've scored many times. We kicked a lot of field goals. You know what I mean? We haven't missed any. We're just going to punch it in the fucking end zone. And once we do that, we're going to make it. And then everybody that's been with us is going to rise with this team. All of them. Every single one of them. We're not going to forget them. They were here with every project. As I was pacing myself with them, we accomplished things. And then every production, we were smiling and happy when it was done. Yeah. Projects, pacing, production. What do you guys do? You have a plan? You go with your gut? You get overwhelmed? You stop believing in yourself? You procrastinate? What do you do? Or are you one of those that pushes through? Latches onto those projects and gives it everything that you've got every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, maybe more. Is that what you do? Because if you are doing that, you're on the right track. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't care how long you do it during the day, as long as you try to give it a fucking minute of your time, you're keeping it alive. And that's true. It really is. So don't forget that. You got to believe in yourself. No one's going to believe in you more than you. If you can accomplish it, you'll start building a true tribe of people that trust you and believe in you and will get your back out of nowhere and truly understand that how serious you are about building a platform for yourself, and not only you, but everybody out there that you connect with that is like-minded, and you'll join together. And all you got to do is work on your projects, find your pace, and make sure you produce. Okay? Projects, pacing, production. It matters. And it works. Get lazy once in a while. It's okay. But make sure you bounce back. Don't get too lazy. You don't want to do that. Makes it very difficult to move. Bob says, happy to be a part of your tribe, bro. Absolutely, man. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. Oh, Shane, what's up, man? Shane says, sometimes I have so many projects going on, it feels overwhelming, but I keep pushing on. Yeah. Yeah. And it can feel overwhelming. It's supposed to. But how are you going to know how much you can take unless you load up, right? You've got to load up. And then the next time you load up even more. And you're like, holy shit, I couldn't carry this much last year. But this year, this is easy. And next year will be even more. You'll be stronger every fucking year. Absolutely. Anyway, I don't know if anybody got anything out of this one, but that's what I was kind of feeling today for Indie Filmmaking Live. Just really tapping into what it takes to work on multiple projects, be your own marketing machine, organizing everything that you need to organize. And how do you do it? It's possible. It's not hard. You just got to focus. And if you do that, it can happen. It really can. Thank you guys for listening. As always, Indie Filmmaking Live. Probably do another one this week. I got a couple things I want to chat about, but make sure you check out everything we're doing. Stranger's on its way. Jason Voorhees' Nightmares is it's turning out great, you guys. The effects are coming. It's so good. Our GoFundMe is still up. We could still use some help on that. We're so close to reaching $10,000 on this campaign. If you get a chance to maybe donate, remember, we've got associate producer perks, and EP perks still available. $150 or more will get you one of those. Check us out on GoFundMe and hit it. We'll be talking more about that here soon. By the end of the week, I'm going to start really pushing Hit It. We got some great stuff coming. And that short is going to be fun, exciting, and we got some great actors in it. Small crew. We're going to knock it out in a couple days, and then I'll get that shit up by February. So I'm super stoked for that one. It's going to be fun. Anyway, what'd Bob say? Always great to hear advice from someone that's been there and done that. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, I'm still learning though, bro, just like everybody. Sometimes I got to hear myself talk, and I'm like, shit, I don't know nothing. Anyway, that's kind of the way it goes. Thank you all. We love you. Check out everything we've got going on right now. Jump on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Around the Reel. We got a new episode coming this week as well. Indie Filmmaking Live right here on Facebook and YouTube. We got a lot of shit we're doing, but we appreciate you as always. Talk to you soon.
Indie Filmmaking with Aaron Carlson, ACCC Studios production. Let's fucking go.